What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into episode number 753 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. It's your boy KB coming at you from Underground Studios, back from the West Coast, still adjusting to the time change from the time change. HK in the building, Harrison Cremens, and up in the top corner, if you're watching on YouTube, which should be Intern Jacob back in the fold as well. We got a fun one as we waited to record this one because I was at PLL this weekend in Baltimore. An incredible time outside of the Water Dogs catching an L, but it's okay. You can't win them all. It was so hot. But I was at PLL Baltimore, then I skedaddled my way to Sunday Night Baseball and then found out Jacob was also there. So we waited to record until today on Monday. And I mean, I'm so happy we waited because not only are we going to talk about the Phils going BTA on those New York Mets, the Philadelphia Flyers continue a tradition like no other that we will bring up, as well as they have struck a deal for one of the young, talented stars in the NHL and continue to just use the Anaheim Ducks as a player development pipeline for the real orange and black. We'll talk about that. Jalen Hurts is releasing a kid's book. We'll talk about that as well. And we'll put a bow on the NBA Finals as basketball season is over. And whatever the hell else comes up on the docket as we record this. But before we get into it, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. We are 95 followers on Twitter away from 4,000, which would be sick if we can reach that. We are about like 400 some odd away on Instagram from 2,000. So let's keep the follower trains going at Underground PHI on every social platform. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. It goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow, helps more people get eyes and ears on Underground Sports Philadelphia, plus all of our shows on the network. And if you're an Apple Podcast user, you can check out the Channels tab in the Apple Podcast app. You can favorite the Underground Sports Philadelphia channel, and then you can fully immerse yourself into our universe. You'll stay up to date on all shows on our network. You'll get notified if any new podcasts get added to the network because it'll immediately join the channel. Plus, you can just get all your good content from this show. Outside the Box with me, DJ and Hoots, Casey and Owen on Underground Circuit. Get in the Hole with Steve and myself. Top Bins, which will be making a return very soon. Typically me and HK and our boy Mark. And then Streamer Season with me, HK, and Christian. Christian and I will be recording our full-blown F1 movie review probably sometime this week as that movie comes out this week. So we'll have it ready to rock and roll for everybody. But yeah, subscribe to the pod and subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. That's where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, full video episodes of every show on our network, clips, shorts, live streams, original video content. It's all on our YouTube channel. We're at 1,078 subscribers, which means we're 22 away from our next big subscriber milestone. So keep subscribing. Leave a like on the video, drop a comment in the comment section, and click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live. And this show, guys, is proudly presented by the City of Vineland. And the City of Vineland Municipal Calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the City of Vineland on social media via their Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube pages. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast.
At the Vineland Municipal Utilities, we understand that when our business community thrives, we all win. As a not-for-profit utility, our reliability, lower cost of operations, and flexibility in meeting customer needs make doing business in Vineland beneficial to your bottom line. What's more, we are able to do so while maintaining our commitment to environmental stewardship. We look forward to helping you achieve your business goals now and for years to come. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
Guys, I gotta say, I say it every time I leave because obviously, if you know me, you've been listening to the show for the past couple of years, you know I have the Sunday season ticket plan for the Phils. I gotta say, when you leave Citizens Bank Park after a game on a Sunday, whether it's a day game, a night game, or an in-between game, your week just starts off so much better after a win than it does a loss. And I know we are the number one proponents here to not compare baseball to football season and how the wins and losses are weighed. But man, does a Sunday win for the Fightin' Phils feel so much better than a loss? And does it feel extra sweet when it comes in the fashion of a BTA series win against those dirty, rotten scoundrels known as the New York Mets? Because the Phils take 2 out of 3 in dominant fashion, in historic fashion, in a fashion that we will remember for a long, 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 long time. And I love being in first place. It's the greatest feeling ever. And when you get to jump into first place, especially when the Phillies don't see the Mets again until I believe August, to get the upper hand here, pull within 1 game in the overall tiebreaker on the season with them, it is truly vindicating because now there's no excuses that anyone can put out. Everyone wants to talk about, oh, the Phillies are bad team merchants. They can only beat up on the Rockies and the Pirates and the Marlins and the Nationals and the Braves because they're really bad. When the Phillies, and I'm saying when the Phillies win the series against the Houston Astros upcoming, which we'll talk a little bit about after this Mets series, they'll have more series wins against winning teams this year than losing teams.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, newsflash, breaking news. The Philadelphia Phillies are a good baseball team. They are a World Series contending team. They're doing it with a shoddy at best bullpen right now that's put together with duct tape and chewing gum. And they're doing it without their 2-time MVP Bryce Harper in the lineup. That is a good baseball team. They take 2 out of 3 from the Mets. Harrison, I'll kick it to you because you were there on Friday. You got to witness history with the double slide that I cannot stop watching. And at first, I poo-pooed on it, but the more and more I watch it, the more and more I'm inclined to say that is the Phillies version of the Saquon Barkley backwards hurdle.
I would totally agree because when else are you going to see something like that? That's I've never seen that happen before.
No.
Like, what was the movie you brought up, Jacob, earlier?
Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year. Yeah, that's the only place I could ever think of that happening. Like,
and that's a movie.
I saw them both rounding third at the same time, and I'm like, oh, please keep that 1-2 step going because, like, I'm not trying to see a double play here where someone gets passed up. But they just kept on chugging, and seeing them in lockstep slide 1-2 into home and the ref going bang, bang. Absolutely.
The double safe call was a serotonin boost I didn't know I needed.
This is the play that is Saquon's backwards hurdle. This is the team that's due to win the World Series just because it's following the same trajectory that the Eagles took this year. I mean, they lost the championship in 22. Who knows? Things could go our way this year.
Plus, on top of that, to just like double onto that, mantra, like Eagles losing 22, winning 25. Phillies right now losing 22, on pace right now to be a contender. On top of that, the Union lost in 22, and they're the best goddamn team in Major League Soccer right now.
Exactly. Like the parallels are there. Now we just got to see if we can pull it together. But goddamn, that game on Friday was a sight to behold. It was perfect baseball for the most part from the Phils. The only thing that really stunk it up was Taiwan Walker went out there and gave up back-to-back jacks. But
which in the end, end all be all there, did not end up mattering as much, obviously. But in the moment when it happened, it was like, God damn it! Like Wheeler just battled through. And also,
yeah.
I gotta put a word out there for the big dumb dipshits of the internet who were bitching and moaning about Wheeler getting taken out in the 5th inning. I understand it's Zach Wheeler. I understand he's a workhorse, can battle through and pitch long into games. The dude had, I think, 48 pitches through the first 2 innings of that game. I would rather our future Cy Young winning ace be healthy in September and October and not battle through to pitch 6-7 innings in, at that time, a meaningless game in June. Is it against the Mets, so it means a little bit more? Sure. But at the end of the day, it's one regular season game that doesn't have an overall impact on what the stretch run down the line will be.
Yep.
And Wheeler battled in that first inning. He was at 98 pitches when he got taken out. It's not like he got taken out with like 74 pitches thrown or 82 pitches thrown. He was at 98 pitches to get through 5 innings. Number one, that's very uncharacteristic of Zach Wheeler. Number two, the umpire strike zone was horrendous to start that game and for most of the game, to be quite honest. And three, what do you want? You want Wheeler to go and pitch a complete game, shut out when he's at 90? What do you want him to throw 200 pitches? Like, let's be real. I had somebody tweeting at me like, oh, if he had a no-hitter going, would you leave him in? I was like, he didn't have a no-hitter going. Like, it's a completely different scenario. It's the 5th inning of the fucking game. It's not the same thing as him out there battling, and he's at like 120 pitches with 8 1/3, and he's got a no-hitter or a perfect game going. At that point, like, leave him in. Sure, he's chasing history. He's in the 5th inning with no historical context to the start. Let's all get a grip there. Wheeler was fine. Did he have his best stuff? No, but he worked his way through and gave you 5 shutout innings with 8 strikeouts, only gave up 4 hits. But the uncharacteristic thing was he walked 3 guys. And then Taiwan Walker comes in, nullifies a potential win for him, sure. But at the end of the day, I didn't really agree with bringing Taiwan in at that spot. I didn't really understand why they chose that game, that spot for Taiwan. I know they want to try to put him in high leverage situations and see what he can do. Didn't feel like the proper timing in my perspective there. But at the end of the day, I say this all the time too. People want to bitch and moan about the bullpen. The offense also has to do their job. You know, at that point, you know, through 5 innings, the Phillies had left so many guys on base. Like, there was moments where I was like, you have to score here. You have to score here. And they left 1, 2, 3 runners stranded inning after inning after inning. And it's just like, you have to capitalize here and like not take your foot off the pedal against the Mets. Like, you want to catch them in the division, you have to score runs. You have to get to their bullpen. That is not that good. People want to talk up their bullpen. Their bullpen is not as good as people think it is. Their starting pitching is mediocre at best as a contingent. So when they weren't scoring, I was like, the offense has to do their job. You scored 2 runs through 5 innings, and then you gave up 2 runs in the 6th. You didn't score. But then the 7th inning rolled around, and the offense did their job. That's what baseball is. It's a team sport. People forget that because there's so many individualized stats. Baseball is a team sport. Castellanos goes yard. Alec Boehm continues to just be right time, right place, right player. He's going to end up hitting 300 by the end of the month. Book it. Kyle Schwarber is starting to see the ball a lot better this month, which is a great sign. Trey Turner is hitting 300, and it will be an unmitigated disaster if he's not in the All-Star game. Bryson Stott, I think he's finding his spot at the bottom of the lineup now, which is a good thing. And I said this last night to my mom when we were at the game because he was in left field, but when Bryce Harper comes back, Otto Kemp is the exact type of player that I have been calling for the Phillies to have on their bench for the past 2-3 years. Whereas you and I have talked about it on and off pod. This team has not had a guy to come off the bench that you feel confident is going to get on base. Otto Kemp provides that in so many ways, and he needs to be on this roster in the postseason. He needs to be on this roster. He is the perfect bench player along with Sosa, who people want to talk about start Sosa all the time. No, when Edmundo Sosa gets overexposed, you see his inefficiencies. You see what makes him not an everyday player. When he's coming off the bench, getting that spot start every so often, he's locked in and ready to showcase his talents. That's what you want from a super utility player. That's what was showcased on Sunday Night Baseball. And I brought this up on the last episode I recorded. all the haters, all you big dumb dipshits. We got to put that on a shirt. I don't know if we can sell it. We might have to put Ash. Big dumb dipshits is one of my favorite sayings because it's so cutthroat but so silly all at the same time. But there's a lot of big dumb dipshits out there that wanted to say all Brandon Marsh does is bark and have wet hair. There's a lot of people who were saying that's all Brandon Marsh does. He does nothing except bark and have wet hair. Well, guess what? His stats are barking now, bitches. Brandon Marsh is on fire. Friday night, go 3 for 4, scores a run, drives one in. He is up. Brandon Marsh at one point was hitting below 100 this year.
Yeah.
Sustains that injury, goes and rehabs in the minors. Since he's been back, can I read you guys some phenomenal stats about Brandon Marsh right now?
Yeah.
Brandon Marsh, in his last 30 games, okay, in the last month, he's had 78 at-bats. He scored 13 runs, has 25 hits, one of them being a home run, 7 RBI, 10 walks, 18 strikeouts, 3 stolen bases. He's hitting 321 in that time span, a 393 OBP, and he's slugging 449.
God damn.
Chat, is that good, chat? Is that good? W's in the chat for Brandon Marsh. Wandon Warsh, anybody? He's
W's
on fire. And everyone wanted to say, put Rojas in the lineup. And this is not me slandering Johan Rojas. I like Johan Rojas. He is the perfect fourth outfielder on a contending major league team. The dude can come in as a replacement runner, to pinch run for somebody. He's a perfect defensive replacement in center field, in the outfield. He's struggling at the plate right now. And he is the perfect late inning defensive replacement for a championship contending team. Brandon Marsh is hitting the cover off the ball. You don't need him to hit home runs. And I think he's figuring that out. Last year, it felt like Brandon Marsh was in the Scott Kingery school of launch angle, where he was just trying to hit home runs and it was ruining the rest of his swing. Over the last month and a half or so, Brandon Marsh has really figured out, I can hit for contact and that's still valuable. And that's exactly what he's been doing. In his last 7 games, he's got a 273 batting average. That's your number 9 hitter hitting 273. I think coming into the season, people were like, if Brandon Marsh hits 250, we'll be ecstatic. He's hitting 273 and he's slugging 455 in his last 7 games. In his last 15, he's slugging 512. I want to see Brandon Marsh playing as close to every day right now because he's locked in at the plate. He's playing good defense. And he's your number 9 hitter. You got that from your number 9 spot. Otto Kemp has come in and has been a fantastic 7-8 hole hitter. Alec Boehm has found his way again and is hitting close to 300 on the year. This lineup is deep, and like I said, they're doing this without Bryce Harper. They're winning series against winning teams without Bryce Harper. They have now won. Let me pull up the schedule here that they've won these consecutive series now. This dates back to that Cubs series when we were coming off getting swept by the Pirates. Okay? That felt like doomsday when we got swept by Pittsburgh. You take 2 out of 3 from the Cubs, Series W against a winning team that's going to probably be a playoff team. You go and sweep the Blue Jays, a winning team right now. You go to Miami, take 3 out of 4 and win that series. And then you come home and take 2 out of 3 from the Mets, a team that you're battling for the division title for, that you're battling for supremacy in the National League for. That's 4 straight series wins, 3 of those 4 against teams over 500.
Love it.
Again, I know I've said it a lot. They're doing that without Bryce Harper. And I said it on the last episode I recorded too. And Harrison, we've talked about this since you came back and when all the moves were made and we saw Luzardo in a big spot last night, Jacob, in person, kind of get back to what he was before those 2 blow-up starts. Anything is possible for this team because of their starting rotation.
Mm-hmm.
This feels eerily, in terms of starting rotation depth and performance and just like talent and skill set, eerily like 2011.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels very similar to that, I got to say.
Wheeler is your Halladay. He's
Yep.
the best pitcher I've seen since Roy Halladay in person.
Yep.
They're doing this without Aaron Nola right now, who is effectively your Cole Hamels. Ranger Suarez has been your Cliff Lee.
Yeah, I was gonna say, who's the Cliff Lee? Is that Ranger, or would you say that would be Jesus?
Nah, Ranger.
Sanchez is like your
Oswald?
Roy Oswald,
Yeah.
Hamels hybrid almost.
McKay
And then Luzardo has been he's the best starting pitcher with an ERA near 4 in Major League Baseball right now.
Hey, let's not blame that 4 ERA on the entire season. That was like 2 bad games that raised his ERA to 4. He should have like a 0.1 or 1.98 ERA right now.
Like he should probably be at like I'll even like do a little buffer zone. He should probably have like a 2.2 ERA.
Yeah.
But he's 7-3 with 104 strikeouts.
Yep.
And he has a 4.08 ERA.
Yep.
The dude has been unbelievable minus 2 starts. That I don't know if he was, but mentally I'm telling myself he was tipping pitches.
Yeah.
Because that's what it feels like. You don't go from being that dialed in to those 2 starts he had against Milwaukee and Toronto, and then you get a performance like last night. He had to have been doing something that Milwaukee and Toronto were picking up on to know what pitches he was throwing.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, Luzardo was electric on Sunday. I throw Saturday's game into the wind. You can't win them all. It's not like soccer where you win a series on aggregate for hits and home runs. You win by winning games. Mick Abel didn't have his stuff. Mick Abel's not going to be perfect every time out. He's a rookie. He's still super young in terms of baseball, like terms. Like the kid is 23 years old. He's not going to be perfect. Again, the offense has to do their job, and they didn't do enough to overcome a 7 home run game from the Mets. Guess what? It happens. I'm not all that mad. Mick Abel's going to have those bumps and bruises. Let him learn. I'd rather him learn at the big league level and get this opportunity and experience in the big leagues than continue to go out every 5th day at AAA Lehigh Valley and pitch against quadruple A hitters, guys on rehab assignments. Let him pitch against the best of the best. Let him pitch in high leverage situations and learn. He's not going to win every game. You know, we've talked about it a ton where Mick Abel's career, one of the big knocks was he walks guys. He didn't walk anybody in this start. Did he give up the 4 earned runs? Sure. But also the bullpen didn't do their job to keep it a manageable game. You know, you have to remember that baseball overall is a team sport. And I'm not mad at Mick Abel whatsoever. It was hot on Saturday. It was not ideal conditions. And when it's hot like that and pitches get hung, whether it be from your starter or a bullpen, baseballs are going to fly, especially at a park like Citizens Bank Park.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say, I was feeling glimmers of hope in the month of May. Joe Ross has been a disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I thought there was going to be something there, but you can't have a guy who's like, as much as the high leverage situation in the bullpen is an issue for the Phillies towards the back outside of, Kerkering, and last night I thought Romano was great. And I continue to tell everyone, when Romano's on because the first pitch will tell you. If he's at 96, 98, he's going to be on. If he's at 92, 93, buckle up. It's going to be a long outing. The long man situation for the Phillies is as much of a problem as it is for the high leverage. Taijuan Walker and Joe Ross have not shown any signs of being able to pick up a starter who can't go deep into a game or come in and like hold on to a lead. Like Joe Ross pitched 2 2/3 and gave up 3 earned runs, 4 hits, got 1 strikeout. Almost went like bar for bar with Mick Abel, who was your starter. Tanner Banks comes in, who I will continue to sing the praises of. He has been the unsung hero of this bullpen this year. And then Romano came in, clean inning, got a strikeout. I don't need to see Michael Mercado in this bullpen anymore. Great dude, nice story. He's a AAA pitcher. Yeah. Like, the dude is not it. And the 3 walks late in the game like that led to this score probably being even more inflated than what it should have been. But I don't need to see Michael Mercado anymore. We need to figure that out too. I know the Phillies sent him down and brought somebody up yesterday before the game, but we have evolved as a society past the need for Michael Mercado out of the bullpen, to say the least.
Yeah,
but
to say the very least, yeah.
Sunday Night Baseball was electric. I got there about the bottom of the 3rd inning, and as soon as Kyle Schwarber hit that nuke, I knew it was game on. He launched that one deep to center field. I wasn't sure because it sounded like it was gone from where I was sitting, Jacob. I don't know if you knew, like, no doubt about it. But it felt like as it got to where traditionally the center fielder stands, it felt like it almost had a chance to, like, die in the air because of how humid it was. But then I just saw it kept carrying, and I was literally like blowing my hand. I was like, come on, get out. And then it goes, and the place erupts, and it felt like a playoff game.
I think I said this a few weeks ago, but I think it's that season we all love, that Uncle Charlie loves too. It's hitting season, fellas.
Yeah,
It's hitting season. And the bats are hot. The arms are hot, except the bullpen. We're not going to get into that, but it's looking like we're going to have a party on Broad Street very soon, and I love it.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't even have my GOAT, Bryce Harper, back yet. Just wait till we get him back. One of the most feared hitters in the last 10 years is coming back to our lineup, but we don't even have him.
It's going to be nasty.
Yeah, everyone's picking up for him. Bohm's hot. Castellanos, I love that Rob challenged him and took him out for a game. Charlie Manuel did the same thing with Jimmy Rollins, and they won a World Series that year. And maybe we're in a World Series this year because Rob benched Nick, and Nick Castellanos is on a tear right now. Maybe because there's a word war going on, but yeah,
maybe.
I will firmly say, I think Rob Thompson was looking out for the world benched Nick Castellanos that day, because if Nick hit a home run in that game, and you guys know we are the biggest pro Nick Castellanos podcast on the market. We love the Castellanos family. They know we get the jokes, and we joke the whole time. I think if Nick hit a home run there, the world might have exploded like Galactus was coming in the Fantastic Four.
Oh, yeah, no. Nick hits a home run, that assures the mutually assured destruction of mankind.
Like, I think the Celestial would have popped up from inside the earth, and we would have been doomed.
This was a deep drive to left field by Castellanos.
Because not only did...
Oh, my God, what's that coming down?
Because not only did that happen, there was another, like, sports broadcast where a broadcaster said a slur.
The Cardinals one, yeah.
And there was just so much shit that happened that day that it could have been bad if Nick hit a home run. So
Yeah.
I think Rob Thompson was just like being the good old Canadian that he is and looking out for the world with that one.
And
Also,
shout out to Canadians.
I'm so sad we'll never exactly know what Nick said, but it's hysterical that people are such keyboard warriors, because I follow the whole Castellanos family on social media.
Yeah.
People are such keyboard warriors. I want to say some of the stupidest shit. And I need Philadelphia fans. I love us. I love us for the passion and everything. I need us to get a grip with certain things and not go after people's families, because there's no need for it. And I love when the family members, they should never be put in this spot, but I do love when they clap back and they're not afraid to hold back and defend their loved ones. And I quote tweeted one of Jess's tweets the other day, and I said, if you're not going to love me like Jess loves Nick, I don't want it, because that's true. She's ride or die. She's amazing. I love Jess. But I'm asking Philadelphia fans out there, please stop going after people's families. There's no need for it. It's disgusting. It's immature and just not needed. And that's a very small minority of Philadelphia fans. It's not ever. It's just that small pocket that makes us all look bad, and it makes me want to just throw you into the ocean. Okay? Stop it. Get some help. But a great win on Sunday Night Baseball. Luzardo showed some stones, and I love the quote that he said after the game, basically being introduced to Phillies Mets for the first time. Obviously, he's pitched against the Mets before when he was with the Marlins. I don't know if he ever pitched against them when he was with the A's. But he said, I'd be lying if I said that in starts like tonight, you don't bring a little extra knowing what's on the line. I was like, that's my guy. That's my guy. And I love that they're calling him Zeus. That is such an underrated nickname for somebody named Jesus.
Yeah.
Zeus is so goddamn cool, especially with Luzardo's aesthetic. He's got the flow coming out of his hat. He's got the specs on. He just fit. I love him so much. And it's so funny that I think it was the first time, if I'm not mistaken, he might have faced him when he was with the Marlins, but I always forget that Luzardo was traded for Starling Marte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Starling Marte, since he was on the Pirates, has homie hop to 4 different teams, and I can't keep up to where he goes.
Steroids in his ass.
That too. Walking around like this. Did your jaw drop last night, Jacob, when he just did not run out that ground ball?
Oh, I loved it.
I loved it, but I was stunned. I was like, what are you doing?
Casual Mets guy.
I don't know if you saw it, Harrison. Did you watch any of the game last night?
I was watching the NBA Finals.
So last night, Starling Marte hits into the perfect spot for Edmundo Sosa to make this immaculate play at second base. Sosa gets spun around to make the save and pops up, has time to stare over to first base where Buddy Kennedy is, throw the ball with ease, and Marte still wasn't at first base.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was insane. I genuinely, in my heart of hearts, believe that if any of us hit that ball,
we're safe.
We are either safe or make it much closer of a play at first than Starling Marte did.
That's something bigger than baseball. Then it's something in their clubhouse, and I love it. And I'm not going to say a word. I hope their clubhouse goes to the most toxic place of all time. And F the Mets.
It was great. I was just genuinely stunned that he did not run that out. I was like, what a loser. What a pathetic loser. And when Juan Soto couldn't throw the ball to third base and Trey Turner was able to go first to third standing, get to home standing, I said, you spent $760 million for that weak arm. Yeah. Trey Turner was able to score standing. I said, that's how you know you spent your money wisely. That's spending your money properly is on a shortstop like Trey Turner.
Give me Nick Castellanos over Juan Soto any day. Look at the numbers, people.
100%. Plus, Nick Castellanos makes actual highlight reel catches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just ask him.
He can hit the ball, I think, more consistently.
It was insane to me watching the game last night in person, seeing how lazy the Mets are at the plate. Like, their at-bats were so, just no thoughts, just vibes, just swing and a miss, lackadaisical. I loved every second of it, but I was genuinely shocked how they had, going into play yesterday, the same record as the Phillies.
Yeah. No, they don't care the same way, and that's pretty clear.
It's a different passion we have and the want we have that they just whooped our ass last year in the postseason. Let's get our get back. We got it. Now let's go mess them up for 2 more series, and then if we see them in the postseason, it's up. We're gonna get their asses.
I'm also this series to me told me 2 things. One, not that I ever discounted it, but everyone else should start believing that this team is a World Series contender. 2, the hypothetical mental edge that people have said the Mets have over the Phillies is gone. That storyline, that headline should be eradicated. Last year's postseason was last year's postseason. April was April. This series to me showcased that we have been right since you both have come on the show. And Harrison, this dates back to last season too. Going into this year, we knew the Phillies were going to be good. We talked about it. We said last year was last year. This is a new team, even though a lot of pieces were returning. This team, which last year's team, I never felt this way, even though they were so good. This year, they're poised for the moment. They want the moment to be there. And it's not like the moment where it's like, oh, the bases are loaded, let me go hit a grand slam. No, they know when a big game is on deck. They know when a series is on the line. They know when things need to turn around for them. And they embrace the challenge. Last year, it didn't feel like they embraced any of the challenge. It was just let's just go out there and see what happens. Let's throw something at the wall and hope it sticks. This year, it feels like they're embracing the challenge, and I love that about this year's team.
Mm-hmm. It really does. They feel like they're in for the long haul, and they just feel like a team that cares more and wants to get it done, much like the Birds felt this year. So that gives me a lot of good expectations for them. Now we just have to see how it all plays out.
Yeah. They have that hunger and this year. We just got kind of embarrassed last year. Let's change shit around. We didn't really make any drastic moves where we had to ship off a dude last year, but we made moves to get us to the next step, bringing in Luzardo and Kepler, and I'm not counting Romano till he gets 2 or 3 saves under his belt. But we made the moves, and now it's time go play, see what y'all can do, and we're doing it right now. We just beat 4 straight series wins, 4 or 5, whatever it is, and the boys are rolling. The boys are rolling. Don't let the boys get hot.
And I mean, the thing with Romano too, yes, has he been a roller coaster for sure? But I was telling my mom last night, I was like, look at the fielding independent pitching stat that he has. I know it's an advanced stat. Not everybody really understands it. Look at that number and look at the ERA. If the FIP is lower than the ERA, that's more so the story of telling you whether or not a pitcher is good, is in a good spot. Romano's FIP is about 2 earned runs, 2.5 earned runs lower than his ERA. That to me is okay, there was a couple blips on the radar that blew his ERA up into a balloon. His FIP, while it's not ideal, it's at a 4.05, I think, when he came into the game last night. I don't know what it stands at now. I'll try and find it. But that to me was okay, has he been bad in some spots? Yes. Has he been good in some spots? Yes. He's somewhere in the middle figuring things out still, but I also don't think he's been as horrendous as a lot of people have made him out to be. Has he been perfect? Absolutely not. but we've had way worse in this bullpen before. And I think there's a lot of pitchers that we've seen over the past couple of years coming out of that bullpen that we would take Jordan Romano in a heartbeat over. And one that comes to mind is somebody that I saw in the stands last night wearing his jersey. Someone had Mets Jeurys Familia jersey on. And I wanted to say, buddy, you're in the wrong place with that one.
Yep. Wrong place. Wrong place.
I'd take Hector Neris back, though, over Jordan Romano.
I'll take Neris back, yeah.
I love Neris.
I love Hector Neris. He has not been good in like 3 years.
No.
Sadly.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Very unfortunately. Still love you, Hector.
Yes. Hector the
Still love
Protector,
him,
baby.
though. Yeah.
Great series win for the Phils. They're in sole possession of first place. They're a half game, I believe, back in just the overall National League standings, which is also like the overall baseball standings. The only team ahead of them is the Dodgers at 48 and 31. They're one of two teams with a winning percentage of 600 or one of three teams, I'm sorry, with a winning percentage of 600 or better. And the only team in the American League that's better than them is the Tigers. They're right where they need to be. I'm thrilled with how they're playing. They're the only team in the division again with an above 500 record at home and on the road. They're 26 and 14 at home. Like, they have a true home field advantage. They're 21 and 17 on the road. And I'm just loving the way that they're playing right now. They're playing team baseball, and that's what wins you games, not only in the regular season, that wins you postseason games, that wins you a World Series. They keep this up. I'm very excited for the future. I also have to bring this up because it's so hysterical. The Mets acquired a reliever recently. When did they acquire him, actually? I want to full-blown see the date that he came to the Mets. He was acquired by the Mets recently, probably within the last couple days. Yeah, so they signed him today, actually. Richard Lovelady is the pitcher. He's coming from Toronto. Per Anthony DiComo, who covers the Mets for MLB.com, Richard Lovelady has requested to go by his nickname, Harrison.
Oh.
His nickname is Dickie.
Wait, Dickie Lovelady?
Now pitching for the New York Mets, Dickie Lovelady.
Oh, good Lord.
Meet the Mets, baby. That's what it is.
Good Lord. Alrighty.
That's like the whitest version of Junie Loves Chachi. Dickie Lovelady.
There's so many jokes in there.
Only the Mets.
Only the Mets. Oh, good God.
It's hysterical. But the Phils are in first place. They start a series on Tuesday against the Houston Astros. They reconfigured the rotation to kind of split up the lefties too. And I genuinely think we have the best three pitchers to go into this Astros series with. It'll be Ranger on Tuesday, Wheeler on Wednesday, Sanchez on Thursday.
Perfect.
You couldn't ask for anything better.
No, you really could.
And that's the thing. Like, Luzardo, I would trust him in that series 100%. I just feel like the way that those three guys, like Rangers at a 2.20 ERA with 52 strikeouts, he's 6-1. Wheeler's at a 2.61 ERA. Sanchez is at 2.87 ERA. You're going pound for pound, like our three best pitchers, if you want to make that argument, versus the Astros, arguably three best pitchers, two of them at least. It'll be Framber Valdez against Ranger Suarez on Tuesday. Zach Wheeler against Colton Gordon on Wednesday. And then Sanchez versus Hunter Brown on Thursday, which is going to be peak pitching cinema. Hunter Brown has been so good.
Yes.
Tuesday's game's at 8:10 p.m. Eastern. Wednesday is also at 8:10. And then Thursday is a getaway day, 2:10 Eastern. So a little Thursday afternoon baseball there. But I'm excited. I think this is, it's not like a litmus test series for the Phillies. It's just let's see what they can do against another very good baseball team. Like the Astros, if you're not paying attention, have been very good this year. They started slow, but they're 45-33. Like they're right in the mix to be one of the best teams in baseball right now. The only team that's better than them statistically, there's two teams in the American League. It's the Tigers who are ahead of them, and then they're behind the Yankees by one game in the loss column, so a half game overall. They're a good baseball team, and I want to see the Phillies play quality, teams right now with the way that they're playing, and go toe to toe with them and see what they can do. Because right now, as we've talked about, the month of June is the show me month in baseball. Show me if you're a pretender or a contender, and by the end of June, we'll kind of have a better idea of who the teams are going to be selling at the deadline, the teams that are going to be buyers that you're going to be contending against to get talent onto this roster. And then we can kind of conceptualize, okay, these are the teams that the Phillies can do business with to bolster the bullpen, to get another outfielder, to get another utility infielder for the bench, whatever it may be. And if you do well against the Astros, you go to Atlanta after that, beat up on the Braves in that house of horrors. Maybe it's like, hey, Uncle Dave, let's push some chips in the middle of the table this year at the trade deadline, because I don't know if we've brought it up when we've all been on the show. It is kind of crazy that the only two players on the active Major League roster that have survived multiple trade deadlines or survived multiple seasons after being traded to the Phillies are Brandon Marsh and Tanner Banks.
And Rita too.
Who is it?
Sosa.
Oh, yeah, Namundo Sosa. I always forget because Sosa was traded to the Phillies in June. It wasn't like at the deadline. Yeah. But yes, Sosa also a player that was traded for that has survived multiple seasons after being traded to the Phillies. Yeah. Every other player has been gone. And it's just like, can we get some talent that's also sustainable talent that stays on the team?
Take a page out of the Flyers books here.
I'm just like, can we get somebody that can stick around?
Maybe like a Felix Bautista or Ryan Helsley, one of those two.
Ooh. I don't know if he's going to be available still. Like the Cardinals have fallen off from being like world beaters, but like they're still very much in the mix for the wild card.
They're already saying they're ready to trade Arenado, so that's kind of one thing.
I get that because he's an old man.
Yeah,
he's washed.
But then that's kind of saying, I mean, he just had a huge homer the other day to tie the game. That means they're kind of like, okay, this isn't our year.
Which, that's just stupid to me, because you look at baseball right now in the National League. Phillies are leading the NL East. The Mets are in the playoffs. Cubs are leading the Central. Brewers and Cardinals are separated by a game. So it's not like they're far off from each other. The Reds are still very much in the mix for the wild card. Like, they're only 2 games back of the Cardinals. And then it's the Dodgers, the Giants, and the Padres in the West. And, I mean, the Giants just got really, really, really good by trading for Devers, and they didn't give up jack shit for him. I mean, the interesting team at the deadline is going to be the Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
The rotation is decimated by injury. They have movable pieces. And they're like in that weird spot where they have older veteran talent and some young talent all at the same time. So it's a matter of like they're at the fork in the road. It's like, where do we want to go? How do we view these guys bouncing back from injury that are on our pitching staff? Where do we view the guys that are getting towards the end of their career? Do we move on from them, try to get young talent to supplement them? It's a weird spot that they're gonna be the most fascinating team at the deadline to pay attention to, just across Major League Baseball, because I think they have so many pieces that could get moved if they choose to do it.
Yeah, your boy who you want from the Diamondbacks, Suarez, just got hurt actually.
That's another fork in the balloon there. But hey, who do we mentioned this the last time Jacob and I recorded, Harrison. I want to get your thoughts. Lourdes Gurriel Jr.
Oh,
would you trade for him?
I would.
He's 31. You could platoon him with Kepler.
Yeah.
Defensively, like you could have him start a game and then Kepler come in for defense.
Yeah. I like that move. I think he's a good win now kind of player.
I've also seen this one, which I think is pretty interesting. Can I interest you in a man who holds a World Series record? Randy Arozarena.
I would also be interested in Arozarena too. Yeah,
I very much would be too.
I like Randy. He strikes out a lot.
yeah.
Does, but you know what he can do in the postseason. He's had amazing postseason when he gets in.
He strikes out a lot. And that's like the last thing that this lineup needs. But I agree. Like, he would be fun. He would be like a good postseason player.
Yeah.
I just don't know what the Mariners would want in return, because their GM is like, he loves to trade just for the sake of trading.
Yeah.
So you'd have to catch him on like a bad day and call him at like 4 a.m. Pacific time while he's like still sleeping and being like, hey, we'll give you this low-level prospect and see if he says yes.
Can we do that with J-Rod first? See if that works.
Good luck with that. Before we do keep it pushing, a great series win, like we mentioned, for our Philadelphia Phillies. Got to give a old tip of the cap to our fight-ins, brought to you by our friends at 47. We love 47 here at Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's my go-to hat brand of choice. I'm always wearing the hitch style, whether it's with the rope hat, just the regular relaxed fit hitch style. I'm wearing it all the time when I'm on the road, when I'm at Citizens Bank Park, hanging out with just the homies. I'm rocking 47. They're truly the best, and they have unique styles for everybody, different styles, different teams, leagues, you name it. They're dropping new releases, what feels like every single week. And Harrison, I think now that the Flyers are making that move, I might have to pull the trigger on that ever so sick newspaper headline hat that I've been looking at for quite some time. 47's also got their mystery sale going on. You save 50% or more and an extra 30% when you buy 2 or more items when you use code MYSTERY30 at checkout. Check out all their styles, all the different capsules. They've got new stuff for the NBA champion Oklahoma City Thunder, the Florida Panthers for the NHL Stanley Cup champions. Plus, they've got this awesome Gimme collection that's inspired by the cult classic 90s golf comedy that has all of your favorite MLB, NCAA, NFL, and NHL teams with a nice little golf ball on it. And it's got the cooling ventilation on it as well. So if you're hitting the golf course this summer, keep your head cool with 47. Use our link in the description and join the 47 family, and you'll get free shipping on all orders with our friends at 47. Again, use our link in the description. Join the 47 family, create an account with them, and you'll get free shipping on all orders with our friends at 47. We thank them for being a proud partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Boys. We will we'll keep the platinum plunk and everything for next week, because we'll be announcing the winners for the month of June on next week's show. But we will look at the run differentials, because it's our favorite game to play. And the run differentials across Major League Baseball and the NL East are brought to you by our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company. Guys, there's no better way to stand out in the crowd than with our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company. With their unique designs for all, there's no doubt in our minds you'll stand out in the crowd, whether you want to represent our Fightin' Phils, the Flyers, the Eagles, the Sixers, the Union, or you want to rep your favorite podcast from Underground Sports Philadelphia, which, Harrison, we've got a PLL player who is going to be repping OTB for walk-ins in San Diego this coming weekend. I'm very excited. Rep your favorite podcasts here at Underground Sports Philadelphia. Go to phiapparel.co, and when you go to checkout, use code Underground. You get 10% off your entire merch order from our friends at PHI Apparel Company. Again, that's code Underground at checkout for 10% off your next merch order from PHI Apparel Company, and stand out in the crowd with the official merch partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Harrison, when you were out in Oregon, Jacob was still he was dialed in, still locked in, very much within like 5 to 8 runs in the run differential category in the NL East and with the Colorado Rockies. So as we always do, we will start with the NL East. and you boys will commiserate and figure out where you want to go and guessing the run differentials in the division. We'll start with the first place, 47-31 Philadelphia Phillies, who are 8-2 in their last 10. Would you guys like their runs scored or runs against?
Let's do the runs against.
They have surrendered 328 runs on the season.
I'm going to say that they are plus 47.
Like that.
You guys are within the range. You're within the 10 run range. They are plus 41.
Okay.
Plus 41. They've surrendered 328. They've scored 369. Damn, that's fine. To the window, to the wall. We'll go to the second place. New York Mets, 46-32. 2-8 in their last 10. Would you like their runs scored or runs against?
Jacob, all you.
We'll go runs against.
They have surrendered 286 runs on the season, which is the fewest in the division.
Thinking like plus 58.
Yeah, I like that.
You guys are within the range again, just off by 3. They're a plus 61. Damn. Plus 61. Then we go to the 35-41 Atlanta Braves, who are 11 games back in the division, 7-3 in their last 10, though. Would you like their runs scored or runs against?
Against.
They have surrendered 294 runs, which is the second fewest in the division.
Plus 25.
Ding, 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 ding. The boy comes back and he nails it on the head. The Braves are at a plus 25.
Fuck yeah.
Third time.
Fuck yeah, dude.
In the combo era.
We figured out the range, and then we've just been swinging for the fences since.
Dialed in. I will say, the final two, there are no more positive run differentials. You're all in the negatives for the next two.
Figured as much.
The 32-46 Washington Nationals, 11 games back in the wild card, 15 games back in the division, 2-8 in their last 10. Would you like their runs scored or runs against?
I'll say runs scored.
They've scored 329 runs, which is the third most in the division.
Like minus 77.
Yeah, I rock with that.
Still very much in the range. Off by 4. They're a minus 73.
Damn.
Minus 73. They have surrendered 402 runs on the year.
God damn.
I saw a tweet the other day that showed the Juan Soto trade with the Padres and the fact that they got James Wood, CJ Abrams, Mackenzie Gore, and I forget who the other player was that is now on their roster too. The fact that they got that haul back and they're still this bad because they can't pitch to save their lives is crazy. But yeah, they're at a minus 73. We go to the 31-45 Miami Marlins, 15 games back in the division, 11 back in the wild card, 6-4 in their last 10 though. Would we like their runs scored or runs against?
I want the runs scored.
They have scored 306 runs on the season.
I'm going to say minus 92.
Like it.
Very much within the range. Off by 2. They're at a minus 90.
Damn.
Minus 90. They have surrendered 396 runs on the year to their 306 scored. So you get one on the nose. You were within the range for the rest of them. Very impressive outing.
This was a good round. It was a very good round.
You will also have one more to commiserate on when we get to the NL West, and that's our favorite Colorado Rockies. But going around the rest of the National League, the Cubs, they're at a plus 96 run differential, which leads the National League as a whole. I believe it leads Major League Baseball. No, they do not lead Major League Baseball anymore. The Yankees do, which we'll get to in a moment. The Brewers are at a plus 41. The Cardinals are at a plus 34. The Reds are also at a plus 34. And the Pirates are at a minus 61. The Dodgers are at a plus 78. The Giants are at a plus 46. The Padres are at a plus 25. The Diamondbacks are at a minus 3. And now we come to the Rocky Mountains, the Colorado Rockies, boys. They are 18-60 on the season. But who let them get hot? They're 5-5 in their last 10. Would you like their runs scored or runs against?
Scored.
They have scored 276 runs on the season, which is the second fewest in the National League, only behind the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Okay. They've scored 276.
I got a guess. Got a solid one.
Yeah. Give me your guess.
You're minus 205.
I'm rocking with that.
Very much within the range. Off by 3. They're at a minus 202.
Damn.
And because the Rockies have gotten so hot, they are now off pace to surrender 1,000 runs on the year. In 78 games, they have averaged about 6.13 runs surrendered per game, which has them on pace to surrender 993 runs on the year.
Damn.
Need them to start giving up some more runs, boys. Come on.
Force factor is like 20 more runs. They'll get it.
They'll get there.
Yeah, so 478 runs against is the most in all of baseball. Looking at the American League, though, the Yankees lead all of baseball in run differential at plus 110. The Rays are right behind them at plus 70. That Philly series against the Rays, by the way, not to go on a tangent, looking even better the way that they won that series, because the Rays have really come on and been one of the best teams in baseball over the last month and a half. The Toronto Blue Jays are 41-36, but they have a minus 10 run differential. The Red Sox are 40-39. They have a plus 15 run differential, and the Orioles are at a minus 85. The Tigers lead the AL Central with a plus 82. The rest of the division is negative. The Guardians are 39-37, and boy, oh boy, am I like this, looking at Cleveland, being like, who can the Phillies pillage from the Guardians organization? They have a minus 23 run differential. They have only scored 286 runs on the year. That is abysmal. The Royals are at a minus 21. The Twins are at a minus 10, and the White Sox are at a minus 73. And then the AL West, the silliest division in baseball, the Astros are at a plus 46. The Mariners are at a plus 12. The Rangers are at a plus 16. The Angels are at a minus 54. And the A's are at a minus 127. Those are your run differentials around the NL East and all of baseball, brought to you by PHI Apparel Company. Harrison, do you want to crack the knuckles?
Let's do it.
Gear up. This is your time to shine, because we've got the scoop, and the scoop here is brought to you by our good friends at Rita's in Sewell, New Jersey. We did a live show earlier there this month, Jacob and I. Absolutely incredible. Rita's is the go-to place. I think with this heat wave we're experiencing right now, the number one place that you should be going to is Rita's in Sewell. 288 Egg Harbor Road in Sewell, New Jersey is the address. Go check out our friends at Rita's. They're delicious flavors for the Italian ice. The gelatis, which is my personal favorite. Get a little custard action in the bottom and the top of that bad boy. The blendinis, the concrete, you name it. Rita's has the best treats to cool you down in this ever so hot weather. Go to 288 Egg Harbor Road in Sewell, New Jersey. Check out our friends at Rita's, or go to ritazice.com to see their full list of flavors and get all the nutritional facts that you need about our friends at Rita's. And we thank Rita's in Sewell for being a proud partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Harrison, the scoop this morning, which our breaking news is brought to you by our good friends at Security 21 Security Systems. We thank them for being a proud partner of the podcast, one of our long-standing partners. Trevor Zegras is a Philadelphia Flyer. I never thought I'd see the day.
That you see, there had been writing on the wall for years that he had wanted to come to Philadelphia. He wanted to join his best friend again with Jamie Drysdale, join the true orange and black team. And we got him for a pretty damn good steal. I'm going to miss Poling. He's a great player, good locker room guy. But he's an older player. He's not half the player that Zegras is when Zegras is fully healthy. That's going to be another big thing. Will Zegras be able to stay healthy in Philadelphia? Because if he is, we're looking at a nasty 1-2 punch of him and Michkov. If we can put Zegras at the center position, which is the main reason he wanted out of Anaheim, they weren't giving him the position he wanted to play. So if we can play him at center, put Michkov on the wing, it's just nasty right there. That could be our 1-2 play for the next 10, 15 years because they're young.
And you couple that with Travis Konechny, who we wax poetically about with, yes, he's been here for a long time, but he's 28 years old.
He's still young.
He's still in his he's entering his prime.
Yeah.
You pair him with Konechny, you've got Michkov, you now have Zegras. I know he pisses a lot of people off, and I know he's like polarizing, but like when he's on, Owen Tippett now I think gets better because of a player like Zegras.
I agree.
You have Cam York, like you said. Jamie Drysdale's reunited with his best friend.
Yep.
And I mean, I know there's a lot of talk that Bobby Brink could get moved next for a better player. In the meantime, you have Bobby Brink on this team too.
And Noah Cates. We have a bunch of good young players. Bonk. Just
Bonk. Dude, I can't wait. I can't wait for this Flyer season when we bring back the ever so fun segment of Brink, Bonk, and Bump.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't wait.
So fun.
That'll be great.
Jacob's like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? So, Jacob, for context, we do a segment like, fuck, marry, kill.
Yeah.
Instead of fuck, marry, kill, it's Brink, Bonk, Bump. Bobby Brink is a player for the Flyers. So Brink is, in terms of Brink's truck, who was somebody or something that was on the money that week.
Yep.
Bonk speaks for itself, but the Flyers also have a prospect by the name of Oliver Bonk, and I can't wait to get a Bonk jersey, and I swear to God he better wear number 69 when he's on the Flyers.
He has to. Or number 42. Or number 42. Just
That's
we
fair.
Can always have the 0 on there. Just one
but
of the
I need a 69 Bonk jersey like I need oxygen.
Yeah.
And then, what is it, Alex Bump?
Yeah. Something
is
like
another Flyers prospect. Bump is somebody who needs to sit on the bump, take a seat on the bench this week. So Brink, Bonk, Bump is our ode to the Flyers, like young guns in a fuck, marry, kill essence.
Yeah. And the thing is, even if the Flyers aren't that great this season, we can still tank and get Gavin McKenna.
It's year 2 of the rebuild going into this year.
There's going to be a lot of ugly moments this season, but I think there's going to be a lot of really fun moments as well this season. And the Flyers are going to be nice. They're going to be a very fun team to watch. I'm just thinking about all the lacrosse-style goals Michkov and Zegras are going to try and pull off.
I kid you not. I have done nothing more than watch all of Trevor Zegras' lacrosse goals today.
Oh, set the over-under at 5.5 attempts this season and hammer the over.
Oh, I need lacrosse goals and lacrosse assists from Michkov to Zegras and Zegras to Michkov.
God. Wait, we're gonna get a lacrosse style assist where he comes around the net and then Michkov or Zegras is just gonna baseball bat it in.
I need it. And then on
winning overtime goal right there.
Oh, that would come close to making up for 2010.
It would entirely make up for 2010. Are you kidding me?
2010, I would still have like an open wound.
Yeah.
But that would like be like the thick stitches that I need to heal it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also,
as long as the Flyers get a Stanley Cup in my lifetime, I think I can get over 2010. But Michael Layton, keep your goddamn pad on the ice. Keep it on the ice.
On ice.
But what's the number one rule you're taught as a pee-wee hockey player? Stick on ice.
Yep.
He didn't have his stick down. He didn't have his pad down. And then that scumbag, I'm sorry, he's not a scumbag. He might be a scumbag. I don't know. Patrick Kane. God, I still hate him.
Big time. Can I also put this out in the ether? I don't know if you feel this way, Harrison, because I haven't brought this up to you.
Yeah.
This trade doesn't happen if Tortorella's still the coach.
No, absolutely not.
Tortorella would have an aneurysm. And I like Torts as the Flyers coach. I thought he did a great job for the era that the Flyers were in and what they needed. Tortorella would have aneurysms the size of Jupiter if he had to coach Zegras and Michkov as they attempt Michigan/lacrosse goals game in and game out.
I can see him. You mean these kids are having fun when they're on the ice and they're not just dumping the puck and chasing?
Like, genuinely, I feel like, because there was rumors of Trevor Zegras coming to the Flyers via trade last year, but people thought the trade package would be too much, which arguably it could have been. But I also think part of it was Danny Briere knew he could not trade for a player like Zegras while Tortorella was still coach.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. You needed someone other than Torts in charge. And Rick Tocchet has been in charge of a bunch of fun young teams. So I think he'll understand how to use these players to their best.
And on top of that, we've talked about, like, on a plethora of our podcasts, not just this one, but like the marketability of players. And when guys are in proper markets on proper teams to market them as people. Trevor Zegras coming to Philadelphia is like when One Direction came to the United States. Like, he's that polarizing because the old men who love to yell at the clouds fucking hate him. And I put Sidney Crosby in that category because I cannot wait for the first time that the Flyers and Penguins play each other. And Zegras is just running ripshot on old man Crosby because Crosby hates him. But old head hockey fans hate Zegras because of the way he plays.
Yeah.
The young kids love the way Zegras plays. Our age range loves the electric personality that Zegras is. And him coming to Philadelphia, there's going to be this faction of Flyers fans who fucking love this dude.
Yeah.
And I believe you and I, Harrison, are part of the faction that already fucking love this dude.
I've been a fan of Zegras since he stepped foot on the ice his first season in the NHL.
He's one of my favorite players. Like, I'm a very casual hockey fan. Okay, like, I've played fantasy hockey for years, and that's gotten me into the know of some players. And Zegras is genuinely my favorite player that was not on the Flyers. Like,
the kid
is so talented, and it's still so much like untapped potential too.
Yes,
like we said, he's 24 years old. He will not be 25 until the tail end of the regular season. He turns 25 in March. Like. He's still so young. And then, like, the young, like, getting young Philly fans into hockey in this era, because the Flyers have been so roller coastery and so up and down and just not very good, to put it blatantly. Like, getting the young generation into the Flyers is so key for them, just from a marketing standpoint. And Trevor Zegras will do that. Michkov will do that. Drysdale will do that. And you bring in, like, Zegras coming in is going to get such a young fan base excited about the Flyers. And that's good for the team. That's good for the organization. But then there's going to be this faction of Flyers fans. The old guard. The Broad Street bullies who still think the 70s are the greatest thing to ever happen to humankind. Who are going to absolutely fucking hate Trevor Zegras. And I want everyone to just put your thinking caps on. If that faction of Flyers fans are hating a guy, it probably means he's really fucking good.
Yep.
because
it's
that
exactly
faction of Flyers fans just want the meathead, missing their front teeth, going to war on the streets, not even on the ice. They want the guys who are walking out of the game and will punch a bystander because they think that's tough and the Broad Street bully gritty way. If those guys are hating Trevor Zegras, that should be your number one telltale sign to embrace the fuck out of this guy and make him beloved, because this dude can be a superstar on this team.
He's going to be a superstar on the team.
I believe I want to get him on the show. I should DM him because his DMs are open.
Yeah.
It's interesting. He's polarizing, but Scotty Upshaw quote tweeted the Missing Curfew podcast account and said, "Good luck at T Zegras 11. You get a real sports town now."
Damn. That's tough, Anaheim.
Tough. But I love the trade, and like you said, the Flyers gave up next to nothing in the grand scheme of what a trade for Trevor Zegras could have looked like just a year ago. Even at the trade deadline, it probably would have been more. So the fact that Danny Briere was able to get a 24-year-old marketable superstar in the making for what he did, this is a Howie Roseman type move.
Oh, this is a fleecing.
Like, he absolutely fleeced Anaheim. And if they're going to continue to make deals with the Flyers like this, where you get Drysdale, now you get Zegras, like, thank you for being the talent development pipeline for the Philadelphia Flyers and letting guys kind of marinate a little bit, get their feet wet in the NHL, and then let them transition to wearing the correct orange and black.
It's put in soccer terms. They're Southampton to our Liverpool.
Yeah. Literally. Because it's not like Brighton and Chelsea, because Chelsea has funded Brighton to go and get better players too. It's very different. But very much. The Ducks have been nobodies for the last, decade plus. They haven't done anything of note, really. Like, they've had good players, franchise legends on that team, but they haven't made all that much noise. Neither of the Flyers, but the Flyers are going about their rebuild the right way.
Yeah. I mean, you wasted one of the better goalies in NHL, the recent NHL history in Gibson. You didn't get Bobby Ryan shit. You didn't get you got Getzlaf 1 ring. You got Corey Perry 1 ring. You got Teemu Solane 1 ring. And the fact that you only got 1 ring with Teemu Solane is a shame in and of itself. You never got Paul Kariya his ring. Not much for this franchise.
Not much. Like, they're like one of those consistently average teams.
Yeah.
And that's not where you want to be in sports.
They'll make the playoffs every other year or so. They'll get a good draft pick every so often.
Yeah.
Then they'll trade that draft pick to the Flyers.
And it's just one of those things that it's so funny that the Flyers now have their version of Brandon Marsh and Alec Boehm.
Yeah, exactly.
In Drysdale and Zegras. Like, to put it in baseball terms, Jacob, Boehm and Marsh are to the Phillies what Zegras and Drysdale are to the Flyers. Like, they're best friends. They do everything together. And it's fantastic.
Anaheim like Marsh.
Yeah, exactly. And we got both of them from Anaheim. We traded a dude who said, "Oh, I can't wait to be on the Flyers and everything," and then was like, "Yeah, I'm not going to play for the Flyers." And then we shipped his ass to Anaheim and got Jamie Drysdale back, who is a far better player. And then his best friend Trevor Zegras, who is good enough. Trevor Zegras was on the front cover of an NHL game. He's that dude, and I'm just so excited that he's a Flyer. I'm going to, like, for me as a casual hockey fan, and this is how casual Flyers fans should feel about this should get you excited about the Flyers going into the season. The fact that you can root for a kid like Trevor Zegras should have you excited about what the Flyers are going to be able to do. Are they going to be perfect this year? No. Are they going to be Stanley Cup contenders? No. You can't go into the season with that mindset. But are they going to be fun to watch? Are they going to do a lot of fun things that make them exciting in year 2 of this rebuild with a new head coach?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And
It's going to be a hell of a lot better than
Michkov,
last year.
Zegras and Michkov, like that's like the NBA Jam shirt. Like those two together should be on the NBA Jam shirt. Like that is going to feed families with the highlight reels that they're going to put up together.
Yep.
I'm so damn excited for them. And guess what? If you're excited about it, you should crack open a nice cold Kenwood beer because you should be cheersing to Danny Briere, Keith Jones, and the Flyers front office for acquiring such a talent. And Kenwood beer is the best way to celebrate. It is the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. It's a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. You guys can go to kenwoodbeer.com, use the Kenny Finder to see who's got Kenwood beer on tap in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, Maryland, Delaware, and Pittsburgh areas. You can also find Kenwood beer at your local liquor stores in those markets. Again, that's kenwoodbeer.com. Must be 21 or older to do so. And as always, guys, please drink responsibly. Love it. Shout out to Trevor Zegras. Welcome to Philly, my friend. I'm so goddamn excited about it.
Great.
Fun stuff here that got announced today. Jalen Hurts is putting out a kid's book. And I think this is just another feather in the cap of QB1, of the MVP, who continues to not only be dynamic on the field, but continues to be a changing force in the community for the next generation and being an agent of change that he wants to see. And I love this. I'm not even a kid. I'm telling you right now, I'm getting this book for the studio to not only support Jalen Hurts, but I think it's just such an awesome, awesome thing. It's titled Better Than a Touchdown. It's coming out March 10th, 2026. It was illustrated by Nakia Myers, written by Jalen Hurts. And I just, this is the coolest thing ever.
Oh, it's going to be a great book. I know Jalen Hurts is going to write one of the best written kids books out there. But wouldn't it be so funny if it was just like a whole book of quarterback-isms, like the enemy speaks softly but carries a long knife and is ready to stab you in the back at any given moment?
That would be hysterical. Here's a little blurb about the book too. You can get it at, this is not an ad either. I just think this is so cool and I want to push this out there for everybody. You can get it at penguinrandomhouse.com. From Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts comes an empowering story about friendship, the power of teamwork, and achieving goals together. Jalen is so excited for the new school year because this is the year he'll finally get to try out for the football team. But when he arrives at school, he learns the unthinkable, that the football team has been cut. He and his friends are devastated, but Jalen isn't ready to give up, and with some advice from friends, maybe, just maybe, they can save the day. Better Than a Touchdown is a love letter to the power of community, being there for one another, and how a piece of good advice can change the course of a day. Told with Jalen Hurts' signature wisdom and gorgeous art by Nakia Myers, Better Than a Touchdown carries a message we can all learn from, that by working together, there's nothing we can't accomplish. I mean, for a kid's book too, and a hardcover kid's book, it's $19.99. Like,
that's not bad at all.
No.
And it's written by Jalen Hurts. It's for the age demo of 4 to 8 years old. It's 40 pages. The artwork looks incredible. Support an amazing artist. And I just think this is so awesome. And just like I said, another feather in the cap for just how awesome Jalen Hurts is off the field to pair with how awesome he is on the field. He said in a quote, too, "It's always been a dream of mine to have my own children's book. Without the lessons learned in this book, I wouldn't be where I am today." He's just the coolest. I love Jalen Hurts so much. And this just further shows how awesome he is. And I'm totally getting the book for the studio down here to have on the shelves. And who knows, maybe we'll do a giveaway for the book, too, and get it to somebody who maybe has a kid or is a teacher or something in that age demo and get that book in a student library or something, because I think that's super important for the next generation too. So kudos to Jalen Hurts. Very excited.
Maybe you'll have a kid by that time.
Wrong. Do not put that evil on me. I rebuke you. I rebuke that evil. Rebuke that evil. That's less than a year. I am not having a kid in less than that's crazy talk. That's crazy talk. I can't believe you. That's diabolical. If I had a kid, this company would be finished. Good grief.
Good clickbait, though.
Yeah, great clickbait.
Great clickbait. My life's now over. Bring a kid into the world during this climate too, and I'm not talking about the heat wave, is crazy work.
Yeah.
I give kudos to anybody that wants to have a kid. I am just nowhere near remotely ready to have a child at the ripe age of 31 and a half. There's just
absolutely not.
No possible way I would be mentally ready, physically ready, emotionally ready, monetarily ready at all. I can barely take care of myself, let alone another human life. It cannot have, we rebuke that evil.
But think it could be a mini you, though.
That's the worst thing this world could have.
No,
I'm more than enough. I'm more than enough for this world. A mini KB would be a human terror. That just gave me heartburn. It's another reason I can't have a kid.
Sorry, Kyle.
I'm a walking medical plague. Last bit here. Speaking of kids, the second youngest team in NBA history wins a title. The Oklahoma City Thunder get the job done.
Thought you were going to go, speaking of kids, Wander Franco is facing 5 years in jail.
Good. That's not long. It's not enough. In the words of Kendrick Lamar.
That's it.
5 years. That's it.
It's not enough.
Fucking kidding me?
Not enough.
Yeah, just throw him under the jail and throw that jail away.
What a bum. The Thunder win the NBA Finals in Game 7. It will be... I'm not putting an asterisk next to this NBA Finals. I think if you're putting an asterisk next to it, you're silly. I am putting the what if tag on it.
Yeah.
Because if Halliburton, I'm gutted for him.
Yeah,
because this playoff run, I became a fan of him during the Olympics, really like full blown. But this playoff run like solidified like Tyrese Halliburton's like one of my favorite players in the NBA. And the fact that he ruptures his Achilles, he's going to be out for a year. And the way he was playing early in that game, I don't know what has caused the epic onslaught of calf injuries and Achilles injuries, especially in basketball over the last 5-6 years. Yeah. But I understand it's Game 7. I understand you got to leave everything out there. When Halliburton found out he had the calf injury, you got to at least have the thought, if you're him, to be like, I don't know if I can play. Because now he's going to miss a year. An Achilles injury can slow you down big time, especially in basketball. And I'm just super gutted for him. Also, whoever the producer was on the broadcast that said, let's show the injury 9,000 times, jail. And whoever the producer was that said, let's watch TJ McConnell cry going into the tunnel for 40 minutes, jail.
Yeah.
The dude just lost the biggest game of his career and stepped up in such a way for a teammate that fell earlier in the game, left it all out there. There's no need for that. And that's what drives me crazy about modern sports television, is that we try to monetize off of these guys' failures. And it's not even that it was a failure for Indiana. It was circumstance. They had the worst possible thing happen to them. Their best player suffers a season-ending injury for next season on the biggest stage, and then we want to try to prop up the guy who stepped up big time for him and DJ McConnell, showing his emotions because he just lost Game 7 of the NBA Finals. I just didn't understand the thought process on both of those things. I'm gutted for Pacers fans. It was like a perfect season, damn near, where it was like nobody believed in them. They go and make moves. Halliburton comes on as a rising star, and then it all gets snapped away in the blink of an eye in the first quarter of Game 7. And I know the Thunder won and everything. It's the ultimate what if. You know, it's almost as big of a what if. It probably is a bigger what if than when Kevin Durant ruptured his Achilles against the Raptors.
Yep. And it's a damn shame. And, you know, the Pacers have become my second team at this point. But it's not the end of the road for the Pacers. Once Halliburton's back, this team will be back. But, you know, what do they do next year with no Halliburton? That's the question.
And it's almost like, do they have to punt next year because you don't have your best player?
I think you eat a year. I really think next year you just eat it and say we're going to be good. It's still a playoff team, but we might not be another finals bound team. Like if we can keep Siakam and TJ and Nembhard and all these guys around, we will be back to the playoffs. Who knows? Maybe even at that point, Halliburton's back from injury. You never know, especially with the advancements in the medical field. And Halliburton's a great athlete, and he's got a great work ethic to him. He could be back next year come playoff time. But they got to get there first. And if you eat a year, you make the playoffs, you get eliminated first, second round. That's still a success. You're without your star player. And then you wait for Halliburton to come back in 2026, 27, and you know things could work out.
And bro, I can say this coming from my own experience with injuries, dealing with injuries and seeing my teammates get injured and they're playing in one season and just see the emotion on their face. Some happened to me, like what happened with Tyrese Halliburton this year. And I know exactly how it's the worst feeling in the world, whether you don't know when you're going to be back, to your old self. It's generally the worst feeling. And so many players have gotten hurt this postseason between Dame, Tatum, and Halliburton. It sucks. Like, they got to shorten the season a little bit. Even as an NBA watcher full time, it sucks. You got to shorten the season a little bit, even if it's to 62 games, maybe 72. I don't know. But it needs.
I feel like 70 would be the sweet spot.
70 is a perfect number for the amount of NBA games. It's a nice even number. And then if someone does need to take a lot of time off to rehab, they're not dinged for it in terms of MVP, Rookie of the Year, all those sort of things.
Yeah. No, but it generally sucks at the end of the day, and especially do it on the biggest stage.
Not only the biggest stage, but Game 7 of
the biggest stage. Yeah. Is.
Also, what are the odds that the 3 Achilles injuries in this playoffs happen to guys that wear number 0?
Oh, weird. Wow.
That's some devil magic right there.
Have you seen the Siakam devil magic though? How long he's
do you know the numbers? If the Pacers won, do you know the numbers that merchandise with that photo that said the Thundertaker would have done?
Yeah, that would have gone crazy.
That would have gone triple platinum.
Have you guys seen some of the like on-court experience Siakam has had with injuries?
Yeah.
So Halliburton now, KD versus the Warriors, Victor Oladipo when he was at his peak level, and there was like 2 more that I saw, and it was like, Oladipo or not Oladipo, Lillard this year.
Yeah,
it's just so many dudes he's been on the court hurt for, and we saw him in the locker room. He's doing something.
Luckily, this season is over, but I did see somebody say Tyrese Maxey needs to change his number now.
Yeah.
But I'm honestly, like, Jesus.
Give him number 2, one number below AI.
I'm just glad that the season's over. I think so. Yeah, a lot of the numbers for the Sixers are retired.
Yeah, I was gonna say
That'll be Ace Bailey's number. Oh wait,
Who?
Yeah.
Ace Bailey's number?
Mets fan Ace Bailey. He fits right in with Josh Harris's thinking. I also meant to bring this up with the Flyers talk, Harrison. I don't know if you saw this. Bleacher Report Open Ice tweeted it. There's just something about the Flyers and June 23rd.
Oh yeah, this is also the day we made the Mike Richards, Jeff Carter deal, the James Van Riemsdyk deal, and there are a couple others in there.
Yeah, so Jacob, this is wild. Harrison, you got the first two. On June 23rd, 2011, the Flyers traded Jeff Carter and Mike Richards. In 2012, they traded James Van Riemsdyk. In 2014, they traded Scott Hartnell.
Oh my God, this is the day we traded Hartsey?
And in 2017, they traded Braden Shen.
Wow.
Things worked out for Braden Shen, thankfully for him. I mean, he's the captain of the Blues now. He's a Stanley Cup winner. The only two people from those trades who didn't go on to win a cup were Hartsey and JVR.
And then in 2025, they traded for Trevor Zegras.
So I'm hearing a Stanley Cup's coming to Broad Street here soon. That or Ryan Paling wins a goddamn Stanley Cup with the Ducks.
Also, I'm cracking up. Frank Saravelli, who covers the NHL, he's from Philly, tweeted, "My son was born on June 23rd, and I was typing the Hartnell trade story from the delivery room. Wife wanted to and still does want to kill me."
Yeah, fair enough. Hang on, babe. I got to type out the Hartnell trade.
To which the first response to that one is Frank Saravelli confirmed pipe layer. We love union workers. We love the union workers.
We do. Hey, shout out the unions. But
congrats to the Thunder. The one thing we have to get out in front of this because I've already seen it far too much. People are starting to say Sam Presti's the best GM in all of sports. Let's take a quick 30 real quick.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Quick 30. Timeout. Pause.
The best GM in sports is celebrating his birthday today.
Howie Roseman, how you doing? Would like a word. Also, Sam Presti has been the GM and with the Thunder organization since they were with the Sonics. Drafted KD, drafted Russell Westbrook and James Harden, did that whole song and Dancy Baca, what have you. I said this before, and I'm going to continue to say it. Sam Presti was allowed to do what Sam Hinkie was not allowed to do.
Yep. May he rest in peace.
And the fact that now we are going to and like congratulations to Sam Presti. Getting a ring, awesome. Congratulations. But the fact that now sports and basketball people are going to prop Sam Presti up to be like this messiah and this innovator and this all-world GM drives me fucking crazy because what he did is no different than what Sam Hinkie was doing.
Literally no different.
No different. And the fact that Sam Hinkie was jettisoned out so that you could have the Colangelo stink on the Sixers organization. And I would say this about anybody. I would say this if this was the Raptors, if this was the Trailblazers. The way that they went about chastising and removing Sam Hinkie to put in Jerry and Brian Colangelo will never sit right with me.
No.
It is disgusting how that all went down. And the fact that Sam Presti for over a decade has just been able to do what Sam Hinkie was doing is crazy to me. And I'll never have a glimmer of respect for it.
It's because they hate Philadelphia.
It's just foul. I love that you brought up Ace Bailey. I still think you draft him. I just I said it on the last episode I recorded. His agent, you have like this is more on Ace Bailey's like inner circle and who they're allowing him to be around and who they're allowing him to hire. Like the kid's 18. Okay. I'm 31 and my parents still have to like make decisions for me because I can't fully comprehend things in real life. Ace Bailey's 18. His brain is not fully developed.
He's younger than me.
Yeah.
The dude who's his agent has had one client in his career outside of Ace Bailey. Guys, do you know who that client is?
No.
It's the guy's son.
God
who
damn.
also gave him shoddy draft advice, and his son was taken in the second round of the NBA draft when he was drafted.
Who's the son?
Let me pull up his name. It is his agent is Omar Cooper. And his son is, where is it? I forget. It was some I don't know if Sharif Cooper.
He was not going in the first round for multiple reasons, and it's
for
not
sure.
Yeah. He also had an elite high school mixtape.
Yeah. Sharif Cooper is the only other person that Omar Cooper represented. And he's playing overseas now, and he is 24.
I love when players have elite high school mixtapes, and then you're like, man, I wonder what they're doing, and they're playing overseas ball.
It's like J.D. Davidson. He's with the Celtics, but...
Yeah. Or, God, what was his name?
Akil Carr, Austin Rivers.
Yeah.
I mean, Jalen Brunson had an elite high school mixtape, too. I got to watch that firsthand because Jalen Brunson's high school girlfriend is one of my best friends.
Hell yeah.
So I knew about Jalen Brunson before he was even going to Villanova. I was like, this rocks. But yeah, that's who Ace Bailey's agent is. The dude is a certified clown and giving him horrendous advice. And he's still a player that like you have to draft him. Like you just can't not take the dude. And like good luck to him. VJ Edgecombe is not it.
Yeah.
That dude is not it. Like at all. And like that's coming from Jacob, who's a hoop head, who watches ball more than Harrison and I combined. I've watched just a couple highlights and I'm like, no thanks.
If you want my honest opinion, you don't take Ace Bailey either. This is my opinion. If y'all want to fix the Sixers right now, y'all trade down, y'all get Malawatch, you move him to the 5, move Embiid to the 4, keep him from playing the 5 so he stays out of injury trouble. That's my personal opinion, and I hate the Sixers.
Fair enough.
It's just so Sixers that they end up with a top 3 pick and they're going to fucking bungle this thing again.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's just what they do.
It's always what they do. Did you expect anything else?
No, not at all. They're a bunch of big dumb dipshits, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
I do have a couple of things that came across the docket here that I just have to share before we wrap up. But before I do, I want to talk to you guys about our awesome pals over at Bino. Guys, Bino is the next big tabletop game for your man cave, your tailgates, your draft parties with the NBA and NHL drafts coming up, your she sheds, whatever it may be. It is paper football meets foosball for the next big tabletop flicking experience. Use our link in the description so that Bino knows you're coming from us. And at checkout, when you get your cart filled up all the way with either a Philadelphia Union officially licensed board, Harrison, they got that Chelsea board, the Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester City, you name it. They've got officially licensed boards for your favorite teams, or you can get a custom board or any of their already default boards that are absolutely gorgeous. When you go to checkout, use code BinoBennett62 and you'll get 10% off your entire order from our friends at Bino. Again, use our link in the description. That way Bino knows you're coming from us. And when you go to checkout, use code BinoBennett62 to get 10% off your entire order from our friends at Bino. Some funny tweets that just came across the timeline. And the quarterback series is coming back to Netflix in a couple months. Joe Burrow is going to be in it. This tweet from Chuck F. Bass on Twitter, who does a lot of like football and fantasy stuff and very funny tweeter. He posted a picture of Joe Burrow and says, Joe Burrow looks like if LimeWire was a person.
That's a good one.
I'll send you guys the picture in a moment, but it's
Traverse.
hysterical. And then the other bookmark tweet that I had come across here, Temple University is going to be offering a course that explores Kendrick Lamar's life, cultural influences, and legacy of his music. I'm not even a college student. I want to take this class.
I'm good. Drake's better.
Wrong answer.
Nope. Nope.
Harrison, what was that line again? Certified
lover boy, certified
right. Just as
Drake made views. Leave it at that.
And now is walking out with Morgan Wallen at concerts. Miss me with that.
Okay, you got me there, but it's still true.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Just as somebody who appreciates like the history of music and is like big music person, I wish classes like this were offered like across the board at like I don't care who the artist is, like to learn about like I forget what there's a few universities that were doing this last year with Taylor Swift too that I was like that's genius. Like to learn about a rapper from Compton who has won a Pulitzer Prize, like the dude is a historical like legend in so many ways. I've been a fan of Kendrick since 2011 when he was posting stuff on SoundCloud. So I've been following Kendrick's career for a long time, and he truly is a cultural influence. His impact on music is going to be long lasting. And if you're a Temple student and have the opportunity to take this class, full send would take it. My good friend and friend of the program, OJ Spivey, put an article in the Philly Tribune about it. So we'll link that in the description. So if you're a Temple student, you're a Kendrick fan, you're a music fan, take the class. Because Harrison, Jacob, you're in college now. How many times do you get the opportunity to take a fun course like this to just like learn about something that's like of the essence and timely like that, where it's not like
I'm a sports management major, so a little bit.
For sure. But like the typical generic student, like you're taking your math course and everything, spice up your schedule and take a class on Kendrick Lamar. Like that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say I actually kind of loved my course load when I was still in school.
Oh yeah, we were lucky. We got fun classes.
I mean, I just got to send to London for a week, so
I had one class that was just basketball. I just went into the gym and played basketball.
What the hell?
Dude, my one friend is taking a walking class. You just get to walk.
I heard about it. We have one of those at IU too. You just go out there and you walk and you talk.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it makes sense that you had a basketball class because Mark Cuban is for the journal.
I also took a tennis class. That was pretty fun.
I'm taking a weightlifting class next semester.
That's gonna be a good one. I took a history or rock and roll class. That was a fun one.
What are these Mickey Mouse courses you guys are taking?
Hey, they educate us on the physical activity of a
campus.
Oh, give me a break. The physical activity of basketball. Get out of here. I can go to the YMCA and learn that on my own.
With a bunch of old
guys.
Yeah, and I'll fucking dunk on their heads.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I would dunk on all their heads.
You don't even have to like leave your feet to dunk on them.
Yeah, no, I need to jump a little bit.
Not on old people.
Yeah, no.
They're short enough.
Yeah.
Also very excited. The F1 movie comes out this week. We were talking a little bit pre-show about it because I got the advanced screening. I can talk about it, but not gonna spoil anything because I want people to go enjoy it. Just 10 out of 10. Go see the movie. It is so awesome. See it in IMAX. See it one of the AMC like Dolby theaters, the RDX Regal version of that. It is an experience that is truly like perfect movie to kick off like your summer movie going experience. Thoroughly enjoy it. And you don't even have to be an F1 fan to enjoy it because I'm like, I don't know a lick really about F1 outside of a couple of the drivers' names. I was on the edge of my seat as the the acts like progressed, because it felt like I was watching an actual like race unfold. It was really well done. And Harrison, I know we host streamer season together with Christian. There's an actor that I want to put on your radar that is in the F1 movie. He is most known for being in that show Snowfall that was on FX.
Okay.
His name is Damson Idris.
Okay.
I think he's next up. He's 33.
Okay.
That dude stole the show for me. Like, Brad Pitt was awesome. Damson Idris was a rock star in this movie. So go see the F1 movie. It comes out this weekend. Thoroughly 10 out of 10 recommend. That's all we got for you guys on this one. Make sure you're following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board. Subscribe to the pod, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave us a 5-star review. It goes a long way for helping this show continue to grow, plus all of our other shows on the network. And subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. That's where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week, every single week, full video episodes of every show on our network. I just updated the subscriber count. We're at 1,079 subscribers, which means we're 21 away from our next 100 subscriber milestone. So keep subscribing, youtube.com/@Underground Sports Philadelphia. And this show, guys, is proudly presented by the city of Vineland. And whether you're a company looking to expand, relocate, or you're a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process. And their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you're considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. This has been episode number 753 of Underground Sports Philadelphia. For Harrison, for Jacob, I'm KB. Great episode. Trevor Zegras is a Flyer. The Phillies are the best team in baseball. The Union are back this week to continue being the best team in MLS. And the Eagles are Super Bowl champions. A beautiful, beautiful thing. We'll be back later this week breaking down the Phils and the Astros. Who knows? Danny Briere may still be cooking. I will also be at the Flyers draft party this Friday down in Atlantic City. So if you're going to be there, come say what's up. But until then, we're getting the heck up out of here. We're signing off. Peace.